Hello, viewers. Good morning and welcome to today's edition of Conversations on the African Town Hall online television. Being focused is the most critical element for attainment of success in life. We are in a world today when being focused has eluded the rising generations of Africa, making them vulnerable to manipulations by a rogue ruling class. The Townhall Communication Company was established to give voice to the rising generations of Africa through our different programs and projects, including Project 30 Before 30 International, through which we are teaching young people personal development, personal empowerment, and the capacity to midwife the African Renaissance. And the African Town Hall eBook Club, through which we enable the rising generations of Africa to have access to books they can easily read. And of course, the program Conversations on the African Town Hall online television, through which we invite inspiring people to talk about their hustle for the inspiration of the rising generations of Africa. We are pleased to have Oluwakemi Lawal as our guest for Conversations today. Kemi, welcome to our studios.
Hi, thank you for having me. Thank you. Good morning, viewers.
Thank you. We are grateful to have you because your credentials is such that it's already inspiring when we look at your background. So I think it's going to be a great pleasure working with you today. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, viewers, Kemi graduated from the prestigious Yaba College of Technology and the University of Lagos and holds a Bachelor of Science degree in Employment Relations and Human Resources Management. She currently works as a brand and operations manager for packaging and HR and operations lead at Datalium. Viewers, we invite you to join us in today's episode of Conversations on the African Town Hall online television with Oluwakemi Lawal by asking questions and making comments and showing your love for the program. If your questions are ready within the time of the broadcast, Kemi will be just glad to respond to them. And maybe I will let you know that as a coach and as a leader in her business branding, she gets paid to respond to questions. But here today, she has promised to respond to your questions for free. So bring those questions coming because she'll be willing to just do it in support of the work we do at the African Town Hall online television for the rising generations of Africa. Well, Kemi, you are a young and upwardly moving woman with awe-inspiring credentials. What is your story? What inspires you?
All right, thank you for that. Yeah, what is my story and what inspires me? For me, growing up with parents who are actually passionate about their kids' development has been like one of the solid foundation that I've had. My parents are they're the kind of people who are very hardworking and they're givers. They support their children with whatever they want to do and ensure that they do their best to ensure our growth and development. So growing up, I've gotten that culture from my parents, like you always have to be your best. You always have to give your best. You always have to leave a place better than you met it. Even for things as simple as using the toilet or using cutleries and the likes, they're always very particular about details that you need to leave things better than you met it. You need to be better and be strive to do better in any situation you find yourself in. So growing up, I've had that sense of discipline imposed on me by my parents. So that has always been, you can't even, there's no room for mistakes or there's no room for you to do the wrong things. There's no room for me to stray. So they've always been there to be like, the discipline has been there and all of that. So yeah, that story that has actually been with me. ever since I was young and growing up. I've had to like live up to their expectations and even surpass that because they are passionate about you growing, developing yourself, and achieving a high level of success. So yes, being who I am today, what inspires me has been my zeal to make impact, to leave the world better than I met it, to give the best of myself to people, to situations, to communities. So that way, the impact continues. I'm always able to. I can be rest assured that yes, I've done this for today. Have been able to impact people. Have been able to, achieve something for the day. Yeah, so that has been the source of inspiration for me so far.
Oh, that is awesome. And in today's world, this is a question I'm going to take from the your last response. It's just a side one. From your
All right.
response, your parents were there, they had standards, they set goals, and you played with them. You've achieved success in that, which makes it a very outstanding thing for them to do. But in today's world, some young people are considering those to be a lot of pressure. Did you feel too pressured to get on with what you did, or did you at one point found that this is what is good for you, and then you hooked onto it?
Okay, yes. While growing up, like I mentioned, my parents had this form of discipline and standard they imbibed in the children. For me, at a point in time, I used to feel the need like, oh, why can't I go out with other kids to play? Why can't I play with other my friends in the neighborhood rather than just staying indoors and having to read? Because my mom was the type that was always buying me books, read and do dictation, solve mathematics. She just bring after school, get your work, class work, call my teachers and all. So she was always like going the extra mile. Yeah, at a point I felt pressured, like I'm not doing what my peers are doing. I'm not playing with kids in the neighborhood. I'm missing out on the fun. But as time goes on, I realized that it was more of her being wanting the best for me. They are listeners. They listen, they understand what you want, and they know when to compromise for we the children. So from there, I started to understand more about it. That oh, all of these are actually for my betterment, and it's for me to improve and get better, to be better at whatever I do or choose to do going forward. So I had to start. I started falling in love with reading from where my mom said it was now from being forced to read to being looking forward to reading. So I was always looking forward to getting more books, looking forward to getting more insights and having conversations with my parents rather than now wishing for wanting to play outside and all of that. So yes, it became a passion for me. It became something I was now invested in myself to want to do rather than being forced by my parents or being told what to do. I think that's how it worked for me.
Oh wow! I think your story needs to go further than from you, and I'm grateful that we are the ones carrying the message forward. The rest of the young people of this world need to hear this, because out there you see a lot of them trying to become rebels because they feel their parents are mounting pressures on them so much to be this and do this and that. So it is right. I want you to confirm if it's right to say, hey, when you're under this kind of pressure, it is best to try to find out why and to know that it is in your best interest. Is that something you can testify for others to, feel?
Yes, exactly. The pressures are not just there to limit you. Fine, if you now feel overwhelmed or too pressured, it's something. That's why open communication is key. I felt so comfortable until date. I feel so comfortable having conversations with my parents. So in situations where I feel like it's getting too extreme from their end, I talk to them and I'm like, okay, this is what I feel, and I also get their perspective on it, and that is what has helped me to cope with it then, that I didn't feel the pressure anymore. It now became something fun for me to do, to want to learn, to want to read, and to want to always be better at whatever I do. So yes, you just need to converse and get the best out of every situation you find yourself in. That's
Oh, wow. I mean, you are such a wise woman, and I think from this medium and future mediums, media, people will learn and hear your voice, because it look like your voice is one that is needed out there right now, and I'm happy to be part of it. Okay. The in the African town hall, that is the philosophy we have back here in the African town hall. We believe that for one to begin his or her life properly, to have a meaningful life, and to have real and enduring success, he or she needs to have a strong foundation based on the right philosophy of life and the right values. So, what are your central philosophy of life and values? Could you share that with us?
Oh, yes, definitely. I remember when I got my first job after school, I interned with an insurance company. And then my boss, the boss I had then, called me in for a conversation. And one of the questions he asked me was, "What's your take about life?" At first I was blank. Okay, I didn't expect the question. So after that day, I had the time to think and say, okay, yes, so what exactly is my view on life? What is it I want out of life? So since then, I've learned of this philosophy that life is exactly what you make out of it. Your situation or who you are, the people you find yourself in, life will happen with whatever life throws at you in every situation or with people. It comes up better with the way you react to it and what you're able to make out of it and whatever situation you find yourself in. So with that, it's actually important to always strive to be the best at what you do, to be the best with people around you, to be the best who you are yourself. Strive to always improve. And then when opportunities come or situations, challenges, and all of that, you're able to, you're able to make the best out of the situation. So yeah, my philosophy on life is what you make out of it. Yes. In terms of some people say when you're given lemons, even if it's sour, you need to make lemonades out of it. So
Mhm.
there are people that are given different things. You have the same thing. You can be given apple and pineapple. Some can decide to make a fruit salad out of it. Some can decide to make a fruit juice out of it. And some can just decide to eat it that way. So it's different for people. So irrespective of what it is, life is what you have decided to make out of it. So yes, that's one of my philosophies on life. And as regards the values, yeah, for me it has to do with major frameworks of like I mentioned it, I'm a family person, I'm a people person. It has to do with personal growth, within the fundamentals of personal growth of people, family and friends, of mental and emotional balance and spiritual balance and stability. So in all of these areas of my life, I strive to imbibe the culture and the value of being passionate about whatever I do. Also, I imbibe the culture of humility, because with humility, you will definitely go far. And hard work. Hard work is important in everything you do. And personally, I make sure that whatever I do, and like the saying goes, what is what's doing is definitely what's doing well. So I imbibe the culture and value of humility, hard work, open communication, honesty in my dealings with people, and integrity. There's this standard I see myself in that I must not go below the standard. So when you're dealing with people, they need to know their boundaries, and there are also times you need to also go the extra mile to get things done and also be the best in what you do. So yeah, that's it for me.
Wow. Um, when I looked at your profile, it was clear to me that this is a wise woman. She needs to speak from your values, your philosophy of life. These are very hard rock, superb, and clearly stand outstanding values and philosophies. I want you to keep them up. They say the sky is your limit, and I say the sky is even beneath what people like you can do. The lives you influence with your standards will go certainly beyond the sky. So please keep up the good work, my dear friend. I mean, I appreciate every bit of this. All
Thank
right.
you.
As we move on in this conversation, I would like you to share with us why you entered the human resources development uh, side of life. You are an enthusiast when it comes to human resources, and you even a young person, and you're already a certified practitioner in the field, being an associate member of the Certified Institute of Personnel Management of Nigeria. So, what attracted you to the human resources development? What are your inspiration for going into that side of the business?
Okay. Yes, human resource has been something. It's something I'm actually very passionate about. I'm a people person. I'm also a family person. I love to relate with people. I love to learn from people. I also love to impact in the lives of people, individuals. I'm someone who is not just passionate about my growth, but also about the growth of others because you can't be around me and we will not learn together, we will not grow together. I would definitely want to learn something from you, and I also want to impact in the people around me. So, yes, people relations has been a great part of me ever since I was a child. And like I mentioned, the culture I've imbibed from my parents. So, yes, that is one of the motivating factors and one of the major factors that pushed me into the direction of human resource management. When I started the university that I applied for the course. As at then, it was just with the zeal to learn. But what started out as the zeal to learn about the course turned out to be something much more beyond, much more passionate. uh, you agree with me? Well, some might not agree, but I believe most people will agree with me that we have people everywhere. Even in organizations, the country at large is filled with people. So people are the lifeblood of the organization. With people, you can get things done. With people, we can achieve a lot. Together, we can bring great minds together. Everyone comes together to achieve something, to achieve greater things. So yeah, people relations is just what is it has been a part of me, and that has what has also sparked my interest in human resource management. It's something I'm really passionate about, and for now, with what I've been doing, I also look forward to doing more, to learning more in the human resource space. There's a lot out there. There are lots of possibilities. There are lots of things to explore in the HR field. So yes, that's it's about my interest and passion in human resource management, and I also look forward to learning more and to meeting more people, even in the HR space, to interact and get to know more people.
Awesome. Um, the acronym team, which is a word, TAM, which is a word, is also used as an acronym with together each achieve more or
Yeah,
much. So I think that falls in line with the driving force of your life. Everything is about people. Whatever you want to showcase, you want to have profits, you want to even actualize the feelings of your ego and your heart, it passes through people. Thank you very much for sharing this beautiful part of your life with us.
okay.
Okay. In your bio, you were described as a book lover and a humanitarian who is passionate about charity work, child care, and community development service. When did your interest in books and humanitarian work begin? And when did you notice that you are passionate about books and humanitarian work? I think we have learned a little bit about how your book home began, but please
Yeah.
do share more with us and then
Oh,
come also from the angle of the humanitarian work.
all right. Thank you. Yes. Like I mentioned earlier, once again, my parents, I will always keep mentioning them because I owe, to a large extent of who I am, I owe it to them. Yeah, as a child, my mom was always buying me books. And after class, after school, I'll come home to still do more work. She'll just tell me it's time for dictation. Go and bring your book and pen. She'll call words for me to write. When I miss the spelling, she'll have me do it all over again, correction and all of that. She'll ask me for the meaning of new words. And when she gives me a book to read, she'll tell me what have I learned from it. I should summarize it to her. As I then it was I was like, oh no, I need to play. I want to play with kids in the neighborhood. I want to mingle and all of that. So I didn't really have interest in it. It was more like a first thing. But like I mentioned, as time went on, I had to realize I found most of those books interesting. And I also had to realize that she wanted the best for me. And to date, she wants the best for me. and that's why she's always imbibed that culture of reading and also loving mathematics. Yes, I owe that to my mom. Yeah, so
Mhm.
from there I started reading from books like Born to Lead, the likes of Eze Goes to School, Eze Goes to College, Without a Silver Spoon. Yeah, I started with books like that when my mom would give me, okay, so read. And then I found them interesting. I found them relatable. These are the kids in the books are people who are striving to learn, to develop. So she gave me books that will inspire me, academic books also. Yeah, so from there I developed the passion of reading. I love to read, and I've started looking forward to getting more books. And whenever she goes out and comes back, I'm like, so what book did you buy for me today? And if she
Mm.
says no, I'm very sad. So since then, I started getting books as birthday gifts. I received books, and by the time I got to secondary school, even as a commercial student, I excelled very well in literature because by then I could read faster, I could assimilate faster on whatever I read, and I'm able to summarize easily based on the knowledge. And so I don't just limit it to that. Whatever I read, I ensure that I learn something from it. I'm able to, imbibe something from it. And okay, hold on to this. This is what I learned from this particular book. Yes, and to date, I belong to two amazing book clubs where we get to read books on a regular basis and review the books. So yes, that is also one passion of mine. Okay, yes. The other question as regards my humanitarian services. Um, I'm a very emotional person. I'm this type of person that once I see someone in an uncomfortable situation, it's just I don't know. I have this feeling like, what can I do to make this better? What can I do to get this person out of this uncomfortable situation? So yes, my parents are givers. They're the type of persons that we'll have drinks in the house, and I'm like, I want to drink this, I want to drink that. Before you know, it, my parents are giving them out to people, and then I'll be sad, like, but I wanted this. As time goes on, and I realize that because I'm privileged, there are also people who actually need this, and I shouldn't take them for granted. Yeah, so that has now helped me, shaped me better into becoming more of an humanitarian. So where I'm able to help people. I'm also passionate about childcare and charitable because I believe it starts at the foundation when we are kids. That's when you can easily and work on developing everyone right as a kid to become future leaders, to become great people, to become people who will not stray from the right path. So yes, that has also been a form of motivation for me in terms of reading books and my humanitarian services.
Oh boy. This is great for someone so young with so much bright and very exciting ideas that can make this world a better place. Um, just like onto that, we have uh, this saying that readers are leaders. A reader today is a leader tomorrow. And I think the great Napoleon Bonaparte was quoted as saying that show me a family that reads, and I will show you a family that controls the world. Can you, as a follow up to the last ones, share your take is on those statements?
All right. Without being biased, because I'm a reader, I would definitely agree with it. Yes.
Okay.
So there are lots of knowledge in books. There are lots of things you can discover in books. It builds an analytical mind. It feeds your curiosity. I don't know, it just sharpens the mind and the brain. So there are lots of ideas you can even get. You might not have an idea before, and then you read a book, you like a particular concept, you read another book, you get lots of insights from it. You read another book, and then you're like, wow, okay, so there are this kind of possibilities. So from there, we have leaders, we build managers, we build lots of great people from that passion of reading. So yes, I will be biased as a reader and agree with that. That yes, readers are leaders. Readers are great people. Readers are people who turn out to be great and excel in whatever they do. Yeah, there are lots of secrets in books that you can get from it. So
I think you have a great point there. You know that the when we held one online African Leadership Conference for the Youth of Africa in December last year. Some of the speakers, the young people that spoke, said the key issues, that problem that Nigerian and in fact African rulers have is they have poverty of ideas and morality, poverty of morality and poverty of ideas. That came out very strongly as a key problem. And you are clearly stating here that books will sharpen the mind, even if you don't have ideas before. When you read, ideas will spring into your system. So truly, if we want to have leaders, I think everybody should start reading so they can be people of ideas. I think in money management too, in money making, they said there are no money problems. What we actually have is idea problems. If people have ideas on their heads, then they will do a lot. But I'm sure you agree with those points, or do you have any divergence to them?
Definitely.
Okay.
I No, I actually agree with them. Yes, you just need to read. You need to love to read. I will stick to that. I'm biased because I love reading. So people
Mm.
around me to also have to learn to read. That.
Okay, that is cool. Okay. And then something in the humanitarian side and some of the other things you do apart from your work. We noticed that you are actively involved in a number of charity organizations. I don't know if I think saw like up to three or thereabout in your profile, and you are actively involved in executing some of the projects. Tell us about these different charity works and the organizations you are working with. If it is okay to mention them online here, I mean, for the public to share, and then with that, you can share more on your passion for this charity work. I know you've said where it came from, but you can expand that with a view to inspiring someone else to want to do likewise. So tell us about those organizations we work with and what their main goals are.
All right. I will start with my current organization, where I work currently at the Talion. We have this culture where we need to help people. It's a form of corporate social responsibility for us. So every member of the staff on Tuesdays, we target Help Tuesday. So it's important that as a member of staff here at the Italian, you should help at least two people on Tuesdays. So it's a form of organizational culture we've imbibed. And it doesn't have to be monetary. You can advise someone, put someone on the right track, assist with a challenge someone is going through. So that's one. Yeah, the other NGOs I volunteer for Executives Helping Initiative. It's a youth-led organization that is passionate about people, helping people grow, community development, childcare, education, and the like. So over the years, we've executed different projects, community projects, kids projects, and lots more, where we show love to people. We help encourage people, even in terms of health, mental health, and physical health. So we do that because we know it's important to give back to the society. It's important to show love to people. It's important to make impact. That way, everyone grows and no one is being left behind. Yeah, so we do that at Executives Helping Initiative. And I also volunteer for Street Love Nigeria. Yes, we're passionate about helping kids on the streets to learn IT skills and things in tech, coding, and also that's what Street Love Nigeria is about. Yeah, I also volunteer for Anti-Suicide and Depression Squad. Yeah, ASADS is also a sister company to Executives Helping Initiative, where we help people with mental health issues. You help them address all of these issues they're facing and see how they can become stronger and better and not resort to suicide as the option. Yes, so that those are some of the organizations I volunteer for. I also volunteer for EEF. EEF is passionate about kids, helping widows, rendering help and community development. Yes, so those are some of the major organizations I volunteer for. And aside that, I do some of my personal charity service, and these are things that are actually personal and private to me. because I'm of the view that when you do things with your right hand, your left hand should not know about it. It's more of, you know, helping someone privately without having to announce it to the world. Yeah, that's for the organizations I volunteer for, and we execute different projects.
Wow. And you are still so young and you don't do so much already. Your hands are full. And, someone said, well, it's when you are young, you have to do everything. So my prayers and my heart are out with you for strength because what you are doing is impactful, is so positive, and will surely cause a change to happen in this world and make it a better place. Please, may your shadows never grow less.
Thank you.
Okay. Um, Now you mentioned a number of books, especially in the early parts. But would like you to talk about some of the books that has inspired you, especially in recent times. Maybe critical books you recommend for other people within your age bracket or those who are younger. Books you think they should get now and begin to read. So we are asking, what books have you read in the past that impacted your life positively? What impact did those books have in your life? And what books are you reading now?
All right. So I will start. I'll take it as a gradual process. As
Yeah.
a kid, the books that inspired me, I think I mentioned them earlier. The likes
Yes.
of Born to Lead, Without a Silver Spoon, Easy Goes to School and College. Those were books. They had the main characters in those books faced challenges. For example, in Easy Goes to School, Easy lost his father, the community had to send him to school. He had to live with someone else, and like so many challenges. And then he still rose above them all. Yeah, so those are books that inspired me as a kid. Like, okay, yes, despite challenges, despite things that will always occur, you can achieve your goal with focus, with determination, with hard work. You definitely get to where you want to be and even surpass it. Yeah, so growing up, I've read more books. In fact, I've lost count. I read books ranging from fiction to non-fiction, a bit of historical, and also some other kind of biographies and all. Yeah, so we have I've read a book on Afghan history, not really Afghanistan history. It's written by Khalid Hosseini. Yes, there's Kite Runner. I learned a lot from that book. It's not even in the academic sense, but also in more of the human way, the human feeling. Like there was so much I learned from the book. Kite Runner by Khalid Hosseini, and there's some other books he wrote. On the Mountains Echoed, yes, and A Thousand Splendid Suns. Yes, so I learned so much from those books. Yeah, now coming to other kind of books that are inspirational, motivational books that I've read that has also impacted. Yeah, there is Unbecoming, yeah, Becoming by Michelle Obama. Yes, we have Think and Grow Rich. Yes, The Richest Man in Babylon. Yeah, I think that really, really resonated with me. Yes, so there are lots of other books I've read over the years, and in my book club, we read books regularly, every week. Yes, there's also Who Moved My Cheese. Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, there is Less is More. I really, in fact, that less is more. It was like you don't always have to. There are times that you need to do less to achieve more. Yes, I learned that from that book too. There are times you need to keep things simple. You need to be organized. You need to plan yourself, plan your day, plan your activities in order to get maximum results. Yeah, so many books, so many books. And the book clubs I mentioned, there's the Luminaries Book Club. So I'm sure people can go check the page and you see other books we've read in the club over the years that has also impacted in the lives of everyone, myself inclusive, and other members of the club. And then there is the Company of Smart Readers, TCSR. So the Company of Smart Readers, we come together to read a book, we discuss it, we write reviews also, and then we see how we can imbibe things learned from the book to make us better. So these two book clubs also have helped me. I've even known more about different books. There was a time I didn't like to read biographies, but yeah, from the book club, I've also learned to read more and different genres of books. So this.
Oh, wow. Personally, I love reading books, and that's what governed the whole of my life from childhood. Uh, During the Civil War, I was a child. I was just a young boy, and I lived only in my village to that time. And then some city folks who were our relations, I didn't even know them. When the war broke out, they had to come to the village, and they came and lived with us. Among them were some university students. So they
Okay.
came with huge books,
Wow.
and I pounced on those books and started reading them, and everybody was saying, "You're gonna go crazy. You're reading books that are bigger than you." Surprisingly, I was enjoying myself in reading those books. And I came
Definitely.
across a sentence that I used to bamboozle my my peers in those days. A sentence in a book that's used five dots, THAT, five of it in a row, no break, and
Wow.
the English is still considered to be at least reasonably correct. So when I
Wow.
came out and I will rattle that with among my peers, and all of them will be confused. So
That's
really,
good.
really, reading does make a man. That sentence, I still use it when I go to public speaking these days. I try to use that to enliven the program, and I will go off. He pointed that man has put was in the wrong place. Five dots in a row. And I
That's
found that in a book, and it affected my psychology, helped me to develop. I'm glad to see people who love reading. As an aside from what you have just shared about books and the book clubs, those book clubs, are they offline or online? Are they physical or are they online? And can people connect to them from other parts of the world?
Sure, definitely. They are online. The
Okay.
Luminaries Book Club is online. The Company of Smart Readers is also online.
Okay.
We also have physical hangouts at certain times of the year, but it's
Okay.
mostly online. We do audio reviews, we do written reviews, we do video reviews, and so many others. And then we have classes where we get different authors to come and talk to us. Recently, the Luminaries Book Club, we had Sefi Atta come talk to us in the club. Yes,
Mm.
yeah, so we bring authors on board. They come to talk to us. We discuss about their books with them. We gain insights to their mind, like, oh, how were you able to write this book? What inspired you to write this book? And we share our experience reading the book with them. Yeah, so we do lots of that and more. We also build writers, people who write. You can write your own book, poem, blogs, and all of that. So we have them in the club. So yeah, it's open to everybody. The Luminaries Book Club and the Company of Smart Readers. You can check them online and you can join if you're willing to join.
Oh, this is awesome. I'm just so happy to learn about all of this, and I hope that our viewers, when they come upon this, will be excited to look up for those book clubs and join, because it will make a lot of sense to know how to read very well. I was in a leadership positions a few years back, um, in our church, and then the I met a young man, 13 years old, inside one of our units, who could not read, and he made me bleed. The reason being that during those days, my daughter, our last girl, started reading even the Bible, which is hard script. She started reading them before the age of 5. At 3 years, she could read all those things. Like your mom, my wife will not return from any outing without a book. In fact, every month she goes to shop for book and make sure everybody gets one, at least one,
Yeah,
minimum of one for everyone. So when I discovered that my daughter could read at 3 very effectively, texts, not just ordinary children's reading. At 5, 6, she could read from the Bible, which is a hard script. And this 13-year-old boy could not pronounce a word from a book. It hurt me. So when I meet someone who is doing what you are doing with books, I'm excited. So thank you for creating the chance to be with us today. on conversations in on African Town Hall. Okay, let's keep moving in this great meeting we have.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. Viewers, we will expect you to join us in this through questions, through comments. And if you do not agree with some of the things that our guest is sharing today, we like arguments on points. So we invite you to join us by, commenting on what our guest is sharing. Our guest will continue to share more about books and philosophies and ideas and things that has helped her. When we return, we'll go on a commercial break now. When we come back, we will learn from our guest, Oluwakemi Lawal, ACIPM, someone who has prepared herself very well in life. She will share with us what she feels about the narrative that if you want to hide something from an African, that you should put it in the pages of a book. But she would respond to that when we come out from this 1 minute break. We'll see you on the other side. Welcome back. So, Kevin, we are talking about the question actually is how embarrassed are you by that position that if you want to hide something from an African, you should put it in the pages of a book because Africans don't read. Is that narrative correct? If it is correct, what can we do to change it? Because if it is correct, it does not do us any good. Thank you.
Okay. I think I'm going to be a bit on the fence here. Because most of the people I interact with, they're people who read. And then when I come across people that don't read, I share books with them. There are times I can read a book and I really love the book. And I think of someone that I know that this person will also learn from this book. I share the book with the person. So that's why I say I'm going to be a bit on the fence in this case. So yeah, when like I mentioned earlier, there are secrets in books, there are knowledge and lots of insights and ideas you can get from books. So if at all there are actually people who do not read, the people, it doesn't have to be novels or other kind of motivational books, even if it's your academic books. Definitely there people read in school to pass and all of that. Yeah, so there are people that, okay, if they don't read, it is up to everyone, whether as a book lover or not as a book lover, to strive to encourage one another that, yeah, we need to read this, we need to read that. There are also lots of African books. We have by Wole Soyinka, we have by Chimamanda, we have by Sefiata, and lots of other African authors that write wonderful books. So it's not just about reading foreign books also, or biographies of other people. You can start with the ones we have here that you can easily relate with because they are African books. So yes, I would say for people who do not read, what can be done to help to ensure that everyone, at least a certain high number of population in Africa, were readers. So one of the things we can do is through the invention of clubs. Book clubs help people to become better in the sense that even if you don't love to read, when you join a club and then you're able to read at your own pace, from there you get to grow, you get to learn, and also interact with like minds about books you've read. And so it's not just about the reading. You can work with audiobooks where you listen to it being read to you. It's programmed there. So if you feel like, okay, I really can't sit down to read, and like, you can work with audiobooks where you listen to it and you don't miss out on the insights and knowledge in books. So yes, that's one aspect of it. The book clubs, a community of readers, and then there are books that are even adapted into motion pictures, so you can watch the movie, and then from there, you get it interesting. You're seeing it played out in front of you. Yeah, I think that should also spark the interest in now wanting to read the book, because I'm biased that the books are actually much more detailed than movies. So yes, those are things we can adopt, and then we can organize lots of reading competitions where we have prizes for people who can summarize. I'm sure there are lots of literary events that we have, and these events are aimed at promoting individuals and youth and also children to become better readers, to know more about vocabulary and all of that. Yeah, so these are some things we can adopt in Africa to ensure that we have more people who read.
Oh, good, good. I'm thankful that we're able to have this meeting because it strikes very straight and direct to the core of what I want to do with the rest of my life, which is to help the rising generations of Africa read more. Because I have this suspicion that why we do not have good leaders in Africa is because few of those people read enough books. Maybe they read, but they didn't read enough. So if they read and have a lot of ideas, we have a better society in our hands. Thank you very much for your very wise position on this matter. Okay, I think you've hinted a little bit on this, but I think we would like it emphasized in a central way. I want to find out were your dreams growing up, and then how much did your dreams influence or propel you to what you are doing today? If you can share a little bit more light on that, it will help us.
Okay, please can you repeat that? I think the network was breaking a bit,
Oh, okay.
so I
So
can get the question properly.
okay. I was asking about your dreams growing up. What were your dreams growing up? How much influence did they have in what you're doing today? And how much did they propel you in the way you are doing things?
Okay. Yeah, thank you for that. Yes, growing up, yes, once again, in fact, I'm sure my parents will watch this. I would like to say a big thank you to you both for helping me to become part of who I am today. Yes, so growing up, actually, the funny thing is, I always had the interest to become an actor rather, to act in movies.
Mhm.
So right from primary school, I was always in drama, putting people together. Let's do this drama. Let's do this choreography. Let's do this. Let's have this discussion and all of that. So I was always relating with people when it comes to things like that. And from there, I think that I can say that's where my passion for people relations and human resource developed, because I just liked being with people. I enjoy being with people, discussing, and also I wanted to act and be shown on the big screen and all. So it got to, at a point in time, because I felt only the actors are popular people and are successful people. That was my one track mind back then. But growing up, I realized you don't always have to be on the big screen before you are successful. Yeah, so from there, start learning more insights of people, my parents' guidance, and all of that. And then I moved into human resource in the university. And from there, I learned more. I because the possibilities, the opportunities, so many things to explore. So I was like, wow, it's not. I think it's more of the extent to which you limit yourself is where your capabilities will end. But by the time you're open to more things, more possibilities, and then you're able to go beyond boundaries, you're able to, you have an open mind to learning. You're going to also like there are lots you can learn from there. So yes, that has my dreams from there now gradually developed into human resource, and now I can proudly say I'm an HR enthusiast and a practitioner, and I've been able to also use this to help myself grow, develop, and the people around me, because it's not just enough for one person to grow. It's not just enough for one person to be successful, and if the people around you are not, then it's of no impact. So I'm this person that based on, oh, it's not, we have to grow, everyone has to be growing together, nobody should be left behind. So I always strive to ensure that even around me, people, colleagues, friends, I learn from them, and they also impact on me. I'm able to learn more things. So that's one of the reasons why I also don't just limit my dreams to human resource, into branding. I do a bit of brand management where I'm able to learn digital marketing, graphics design, and so many other things. Yes, and also the aspect of operations and customer success, because there are lots of opportunities abound. And as an HR person, you also have to be versatile. You need to know about finance, you need to know about the law, you need to know about all other things. They are all encompassing. So I think that has helped me. My dreams have grown from there with that.
Oh, that is great. That is great. And talking about that, while looking through your profile, I saw the struggle with the digital marketing, the digital the graphics experience. Try to
Yeah.
learn. Would you mind sharing from that? You know,
Ah, yes.
the fun side of the challenges you face, how you overcame them, because this is what is real in life. We face challenges, and then overcoming them becomes our success story. Maybe you should just share something about that.
Okay. Yeah, so when I applied for the scholarship and I got to learn graphics design, we started the first class. The first week of class, I was enjoying it. I was like, wow, this is really interesting and engaging. I loved it. Okay. By the second week, I was lost. What's going on? I thought this was really interesting. What's happening? I didn't understand anything. I was the tools. Okay, when we were using Photoshop, and everybody was saying Photoshop is simple. You can work well with Photoshop and all. And me, I'm staring at Photoshop. I'm like, I don't even know how to navigate my way around it. So at the point, I wanted to give up. Like, well, I don't think this design is my calling. I don't think it's what I want to do. I'm not even interested anymore. Well, I had to now think again, like, okay, and I had friends that I spoke to that I think I'm going to drop this class. And that's one of the things I would like to point out. It's important to surround yourself with people. Friend Bukola, she encouraged me, like, you don't have to give up, just continue with the class and see what you can also learn from it daily. So I was like, okay, let me continue. And the classes were every day, excluding weekends sometimes. So I continued with the class, and still I did not understand. So I disturbed my graphics designer friends. I reached out to them. There are three of them. So I reached out to them separately to learn from this person, learn from this person, and learn from the other person. And they were able to, they realized how interested and invested I was in the graphics design, and they took time to put me through. So by the time I was able to learn from three different people who are professionals in the graphics design field, the following week when I got to class, I was feeling like a pro. Like, I know this, I've learned a lot, I've taken my time to make sure that this time in class I won't be dumb. I won't be looking like I don't know anything. So I learned from there. And when we had to give a presentation, everybody was like, wow, Lawal, I love your presentation. You did good. And I was feeling myself like, wow, okay, yes. That also like boosted my morale. And I took it further from there. So I continued, I completed the course, I learned about UI UX. I was able to also use Figma and some other tools. Then towards the end of the training, we're asked to put together our portfolio, our design portfolio. I and I submitted it. So I got qualified for an internship with AML. Yeah, so from there, I practiced. But when I got to AML, so it was challenging. I was like, is it that I don't know design again? But I excelled at the training. What's going on? So I also learned from my supervisor. He was able to put me through photo manipulation and so many other things that I learned from him. So from there, I started working on projects. I designed some flyers, and yes, that's how I became, let me call myself a pro. But yeah, there's still more to learn. And I still have plans to learn more. But with that, I achieved and I got my certificate. I was really happy that I saw it through. And I ended the training and it was successful. Yes, that's my experience.
Wow. Talk about grit, persistence, perseverance, and humility also, because that's why you were able to go to those who know better to at
Yeah,
least coach you. And you mentioned earlier today that humility is one of the qualities, and I think that is truly a part of you, in spite of your achievements, which are very, very effective and strong. All right, this is becoming more and more interesting, and every hour I feel so good that I'm able to have this meeting with you, Kemi. Thank you very much for agreeing.
thank you.
Okay. You have been doing many things, and even some of the NGOs you work with, they are basically direct for children to help children, and there's some disadvantaged people. But when you look at the youth of Africa generally, are there ways you can relate how all these your pursuits, especially your charity work, are impacting on the youth of Africa? And if you have example people who are impacted from all those social pursuits, it would be nice to share with us.
Okay. Yeah, so the thing is, everyone can relate to a certain kind of struggle. So as a youth, it's not just about the success story. There are the struggles and there are the back end sacrifices and hard work you have to put in. So we understand this at the NGO that I belong to because it's a youth-led organization and we have lots of youths there. So we ensure that whatever we do, we're able to track the impact. And we're able to know that we've impacted in the lives of, if our target audience for a particular project is kids, we know that we're able to impact in the life of kids. If our target audience are youth, we know that we're able to impact in the life of if our target audience are youth, we know that we're able to impact in the life of trying to reach. So for our NGOs, what we do with youths, we help empower them and equip them to become better. There's some youths that probably you need to continue your education and all of that. We have things we put in place to ensure that we're able to raise funds and sponsor such a person to complete the education. And there are also some structures we put in place to empower them to learn a trade, to learn a skill, whatever handwork you can learn that will also help to bring in income and ensure that you're financially independent. So we do all of that at the NGO. And then the organization I work for at the Italian here, we are passionate about equipping and empowering people. So we have scholarship opportunities for youths, youths who want to learn about data analytics, you want to learn about HR analytics, you want to learn about macroeconomic analysis and some other kind of digital skills. We have all of this in place. We have a form of project to ensure that we empower people, we equip them with all of the skills that will also help you develop yourself. And the youth will also be able to make impact in the immediate environment. You're also able to help people around you. So it's a ripple effect where you help people and they also turn out to help more people who in turn help more people. So it's more of you help one person and the one person helps another person. And before you know it, everybody is good together, everybody's growing together, and then no one is being left behind. So that way, we're able to contribute our quota towards eradicating unemployment, towards ensuring financial independence, and then there's a form of structure in place, and everyone achieves their goal in the long run.
Hmm.
That's
Thank you. That is very helpful, and I think it is important that these things come out so that young people will know that whatever they are going through today, there are
Okay.
opportunities and options they can leverage on to become
Sorry, I'm
better.
not. This is quite not audible. I don't know if you can hear me properly.
Okay, I can hear you clearly. Maybe I need. Can you hear me now? Is it better? Hello, is it better now? Um, can you hear me now?
Okay. I think it's. Let me check the settings. The
Okay.
audio. All right. Let me move closer a bit.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Um,
Can you hear me?
audio.
Yeah. You are not muted, and I can hear
Hear
you
you now.
clearly. I-
I
Is it
think it's
okay
the
now?
setting that got. Yes, perfectly okay. I can hear you clearly
Oh,
now.
oh, thank you very much. Because I don't want anything to happen to what we are having here. It's so much for me, and my excitement is beyond this. So I want it to all flow. Very cool. All right.
Thank
In the African Town Hall Online Television, we believe that failure is part of success. We know that nobody actually becomes successful who have not failed on something before. Um, we know that mistakes and failures are for those who are actively doing something, and that only such have a chance at real success in life. So we know that you've shared some in the proceeding of this interview. You have shared some things relating to this, but we would like to have a more direct approach to this because of the people who are listening. So, can you take a moment to talk about times when you have failed or made costly mistakes, and then how you were able to bounce back and still attain the success you were pursuing?
you. Okay. Yeah, so there's a saying that when you fall, let's say you fall 9 times, you need to stand up 10 times. I've made mistakes over there are mistakes that one has to learn from. So I learned from my mistakes. There are times that okay, probably when I want to do something and I do it the wrong way and it didn't bring out the desired results. I learned from it. In fact, most of the times I don't even see it as a mistake because I see it more as a learning process. It's part of the ingredients to make you become better and to make you much more successful. So and most times some of those things are like bound to happen. You don't let it get to you. Personally, I don't let it get to me. I see it as a learning process. I see it as a form of stepping stone for me to get to where I want to be. It's all part of the journey. And yes, there was a particular time when I started writing, when I took my first jam, the JAMB exam, I didn't get up to the cut-off mark required to enter to get into the university. Even though my score was over 200, but I still did not reach the cut-off mark for the university. So I was like, it's university or nothing. I don't want to go there. But at a point in time, I had to like think about it. Rather than just sitting at home and doing nothing, let me try something else. So I applied into the Polytechnic and I got admission. And yes, towards when I started that, I was able to learn so many things from the institution. I met with lots of great people who I'm still friends with to date, of which we share a great connection. And yes, at a point in time, I felt I need to do more. I want to like get to that my dream. I want to surpass it, and there are things I need to put in place. So I had to take another jam to ensure that I get into the university. So now at this point, I'm not saying you don't have to see things through, but it depends on what works for you as a person. So for me, again, so I took the jam again and I put in more effort, extra dedication. Like this time around, I must get to the cutoff that I want. So I chose another university. I chose the University of Lagos and I applied and I gained admission. I would say that has been like one of the most amazing moments of my life, gaining admission into the University of Lagos to study the course I actually planned to study. That's industrial relations and personal management, which is human resource management that people know it as today. Yeah, so that's I learned from my mistakes basically. I know that when you give 100% of yourself to something that you're trying to do, if it still does not work out, that means you need to double your efforts. That is just to tell you 100% is not the maximum, it is not the limit. You need to do more than double your efforts. 200%, 300, give your 500%, give your all to it, and you get it done. Yeah, so for me, I see mistakes as learning points, as a growth process, as part of the journey, because challenges are bound to occur, and then sometimes some mistakes cannot be avoided, but you just need to learn from them and don't let it weigh you down. Yeah, for me, that's what I do. I learn from it. I don't let it weigh me down. I don't let it distract me from my journey. I don't let it move my focus. I just try to strive to get that balance. To say, okay, yes, this is what I have in mind. This is my focus. This is what I want to do, and I need to continue on that path to make sure I get it done. So that's for me.
Awesome. And you know, the point that is very important for everyone here is, yeah, there's this saying we learned when we were in primary school those days: do a lesson you did not succeed, try, try again. So that's
Yeah.
one. Then secondly, um it is not actually failure and it is not mistake. They are all learning opportunities.
Yes.
And I'm learning from you here that this thing is about attitude. Every situation you see, you need to bring forward a positive attitude to use it to now overcome. That agrees well with all the wonderful people of the world that I know. I think it was Robert Kiyosaki who said that every adversity, every problem you meet
Yeah,
is called, has inside it opportunities for your improvement. Thank you, Kemi,
definitely.
for bringing these wise commentaries to help our people. Okay. Um, well, viewers, you are still watching Conversations on the African Town Hall online television with Oluwakemi Lawal, ACI PM, Brand and Operations Manager for Packaging, and HR and Operations Leads at Datalium. Join us by asking questions and making comments on the discussion to expand the scope so that more and more people will benefit from the wisdom that our esteemed guest, Oluwakemi Lawal, is sharing with us today. Okay, Kemi, I always bring in off the cuff questions when I'm about to tidy up. This is, I'm sure you are not expecting this. I'm going to ask it.
All
If
right.
you don't want to answer it, just say you don't want to answer it, and you will be okay with us.
All
Um,
right.
yes, politics and the acquisition of power in Nigeria and Africa is generally a do or die thing. Do you have a position on the insane approach and attitude to the acquisition and the use of political power in Nigeria, specifically, and Africa in general these days?
Okay. Yeah, for this question, I think I will just try to be diplomatic a bit. Yeah,
Okay.
because I see politics as a vessel to good governance for the people, for the betterment of people and the society. So necessarily, it doesn't have to necessarily be a do or die affair. You can do your best, you can give your best to the people, to the community without actually engaging in politics. And I believe as everyone, as individuals, we have a lot inside of us. We have lots of potentials, we have lots of talents that we can use for the development and betterment of ourselves, the people around us, the society, the country at large, and Africa as a continent. So yes, it doesn't necessarily have to be politics that will be the route for you to go about it. So there are other ways as individuals, as a community, where we can do all of these things and give our quota, contribute our quota to the growth of the country. Okay, so like I said, I will be a bit diplomatic. I'm not really into the whole politics thing. Well, politics is everywhere, organizations and people, family, not the dirty kind of politics. The normal, we have the leadership roles, we have management and all. So all of these things are in place to ensure that we're able to give our best to the people. It's all about contributing. It's all about giving back. It's all about development. The people, the society, the environments, the habitat, everyone around. Yes, so I think that's what I would say as regards to that.
Okay, thank you. You have said a lot already on that, and you've shared something that if people will abide by them, it will help. But one of the avowed things in my heart that I want to contribute to life before I try the other side of living is to help young people to change their attitude to these things. And you have made a contribution to the issue of attitude. It doesn't have to be a do or die affair. And politics is a good thing that positions people to provide service, not for control, not for stealing, and so on, as we have them commonly today. Thank you for sharing. There are people are giving that question to, and they say, please, please count me out. I don't want to get into politics. So I'm glad you had the courage to do something about it.
Thank
Okay. Well, viewers, thank you for continuing to stay with us. We will take a commercial break. When we return, our guest will share her thoughts on the prospects of solving the perennial problem of leadership in Africa. Stay tuned.
you.
Hello, everyone. We would like to introduce you to Graceworth Nigeria Limited. Graceworth Nigeria Limited is a Nigerian-owned and operated company using seasoned and accomplished professionals to execute complex security missions in conjunction with the host government to mitigate risk on behalf of our clients. Our team members have decades of experience in the security sector, bringing a wealth of knowledge and experience that not all security companies are able to offer. The success of the company is based on our unrivaled ability to build and maintain successful partnerships with our customers to provide professional and reliable security services. We pride ourselves on providing highly trained personnel experienced in dealing with the most complex of security issues. Since our formation, we have gained a reputation as a highly experienced company with a young, energetic and forward-thinking management team, offering the highest level of professionalism. We offer the following services. 1. Security awareness and training. 2. Program support and consultancy. 3. Risk assessment and investigations. 4. Executive protection and travel management. You can contact us on +234 807 227 2799 or 0702 525 4858, or visit our office at 14 Buchanan Crescent, off Aminu Kano Crescent, West 2, Abuja, Nigeria. We would be glad to have you. Graceworth. Leave your worries with us.
Thank you and welcome back. So, Kemi, we need your help here. Africa is bedeviled by bad leadership. The people who are ruling, to me, have passed their time. They are not ICT compliant. In a place like Europe, 30-something-year-olds are now the prime ministers and presidents of those countries. But in Africa, we have people in there who are turning 100. Paul Biya of Cameroon is 90-something years. Mugabe was there until he was 98. Buhari is almost 80 years, and so on and so forth. These men have no connection with technology and modern way of doing anything. And we can see the results that they are producing, coupled with, of course, poverty of ideas and poverty of morals that are worrying them. So, if there are magic bullets for curing leadership failure in Africa, what, in your opinion, would those bullets be?
Okay. Yeah, that would be to catch them young, actually. It's more of a solid foundation. So to build the leaders we want, to build the kind of leaders that will be IT inclined and will be able to do better or take the country beyond the surpass expectations. I think we need to start now, and we need to catch them young, build a solid foundation. It starts with the kids. From when we are kids to growing up and all of that, there's so many things and structures that we need to put in place. And even as youth, there's so much we have to offer. So I would say that bullet is to actually catch them young. It's not too late. It's never too late for us to start with that by building and grooming leaders of tomorrow. So it doesn't necessarily have to be leadership at the national level. It starts from you and I. Leadership in a small group of people, leadership in a book club, let me use that as an example, leadership in an organization, leadership in just a community. It starts from there. It starts from individuals' perception and the likes. So yes, it's more like you're using the bottom up approach where you're able to lay a solid foundation to ensure that you get the desired result and it will work for you in the long run, basically. So yes, I would say that the bottom up approach works a lot. So you build a solid foundation, build a structure around it, and then yeah, get the desired results. Continue developing and all of that. You definitely get the desired results.
Oh, wow. I, 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 I think the whole world need to hear you more and more and more. And I hope that we will be able to bring you back to these studios to keep sharing from your wisdom. This is so much. And I thank you. I was speaking with a guest who lives in the US. He's a Nigerian in the last program, and he said in America they begin very early to teach children honesty, leadership, civil. This thing now we don't have civics in our schools anymore. We Nobody is talking of honesty, and nobody is talking about leadership. So thank you for bringing this forward, and I think as voices like yours and mine and others around us continue to come up, we will be able to get to the bottom of this. Okay, well, we are gradually coming to the end of this beautiful experience. I don't want it to end, but Kemi is a busy woman. She needs to get to do something else, and we need to also take care of a few things. So, uh, Kemi, here is the question:
All right.
using your life's philosophy, which is a great one, it's the wonderful values that you have enunciated, and also your experiences, the success you have achieved, and the failures you have passed through to get to where you are as a yardstick. What will be your final words at this interview for the rising generations of Africa? That is number one. The first people we want you to address is the rising generations of Africa. Then we also want you to address our current political rulers.
Okay.
And lastly, to address parents of our today's youth. So, what are your final ways to the rising generations of Africa, the youth, the political rulers of Africa, and parents, giving all that we have discussed today?
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. For the youth, what I would say is you just need to be determined. That's it. To be focused and hardworking. It's not just about the motivational speeches of aspire to perspire and all of that, but just putting it into action. Be hardworking, be determined. There are challenges will come, but yeah, you will definitely overcome all of those challenges. Stay focused. Always strive to ensure that every day you're able to improve yourself. You're able to become the best version of you daily, and you're also able to contribute your quota to the community, to the people around you, because impact is really important. You need to be able to impact in the lives of people around you, and that way you will also get impact from them, and everyone develops and grows together. Yeah, that's what I would say for the youth. Yeah, for the leaders, yeah, I know we have great leaders, definitely. Where we have, we Nigeria has the resources. We have the resources we need to definitely develop. So yes, I would just say our leaders just need to help double their efforts, and contribute more to ensuring that the country also like grows more beyond and surpass our expectations, and also give the youths opportunities, more opportunities. I know there are lots of youth-led opportunities that the government has provided to help encourage youth and empower the youth. But we need to like have more of this in place. We need to have more structures, more scholarships in place. So this is also to encourage people who do not have the capacity to be able to, to get to where they want to be. So when government also helps put additional of those things in place, it will help accelerate the growth of the economy, of the youth, of the citizens, and that way we're also going to be able to eradicate some of the problems we face in terms of unemployment, in terms of poverty, and the likes. Yeah, and for parents, yeah, what I would say, our parents are really wonderful people. Our parents are, they're like our life drivers, because they're the ones who brought us to this world. So what I'll say to our parents is, yeah, I would like to say thank you to mine and to every other parent out there. There's more we have to do. There's more our parents have to do. We as kids, and sometimes I know we as children, we can be difficult, but yeah, it's up to our parents to also like continue to help us get better, continue to put that form of structure in place to help the kids grow and develop to be great people, who will in turn be great parents and have more kids, and then it continues that way, also impacting the lives of your kids. So yes, that's it. I would say help us lay the foundation for the children right at the very first stage of their lives, so that it helps, and this structure is in place to help them grow and develop to be great future leaders, to be great success stories. They will surpass what you even expect. Yeah, that's it for me.
Wow, awesome. Um, Kemi, thank you very much
Thank
for your
you.
time and thoughts that you have freely shared with us today. I look forward to hosting you again, because I think this is going to excite action everywhere, and then people are going to call for more. I'm very sure about that. If they don't call, I'm going to call for more, so that this kind of wonderful moment can be. You give people like me hope that the future of this country can still be rescued, or at least humanity can still be saved, because people with your type of mind and attitude are around. Well, viewers, this has been Conversations on African Town Hall Online Television with Oluwakemi Lawal, ACIPM. And thank you for participating. Well, I would like you to join me to express gratitude to Kemi for being able to make time and come out with all her mind and heart to give to the world today in this interview that have been candid and very effective. You can help the cause of expanding this knowledge by checking back on these broadcasts on Facebook and YouTube and LinkedIn. And while there, we invite you to like it, to share it, to make comments, and to ask questions. And if you get to our YouTube channel, the African Town Hall, we invite you to subscribe to the channel so we can have a chance to serve you better. See you all again next week on Conversations on the African Town Hall online television with me, Francis Meribe. Kemi, thank you very much.
Thank you for having me. I'm so honored to be here. And I look forward to reading the comments and learning from people also. Yes, so
Yes.
thank you very much for having me. It's
Thank,
been an honor.
thank you. Thank you. This is very helpful. You have a great week.
Yes, and you too. Thank you.
Thank you.